one's ready.
So how long did you work at Longfellow and what years?
I was there for 23 years. I started and I retired in 2011.
So you're still a teacher when my brother was going there.
What's your brother's name?
Pete
Pete
Schuessler.
Pete Schuessler. So he is
Schuessler.
Senior.
in high school now. So 6 years ago, he would have been in 6th grade.
Yep.
So
Yeah, but I was gone by then.
Yeah. So,
Although he would have, if he was in 6th grade then,
yeah.
because I'm in my 7th year of retirement.
Okay, so 5th grade.
So he could
he
have,
would have been
yeah,
in school while you were teaching.
right.
What did you do before working at Longfellow?
I taught at Hoover. In 2nd grade.
What grades did you teach at Longfellow?
3rd and 4th. And also, there were other schools I taught in Iowa City communities. I taught at Roosevelt. I started in the district in 1972.
Right. What was it like when you first started?
Oh, completely different than it is now. Well, there were no computers. They had combination grades too. They had 5th and 6th together, and I was hired as a half-time teacher to do language arts and math. And then they went and did 4th, 5th, and 6th together, which was not really a good idea. And it was kind of crazy. We do language arts and math combined, and that was really interesting. And there were 4 teachers and 3 associates, one for each of the 2 teams, and one for the whole. And like I said, in the morning we did math and language arts together, and in the afternoon they split up in grade levels to do music, PE, social studies, science. So it was kind of crazy, but that's how it was.
Because, right, it'd be harder to teach what they did when they had the one-room schoolhouse and one teacher to teach kindergartners through
Right.
8th graders
That's
as well.
At Roosevelt, I taught 5th grade for 3 years and 5th and 6th for 2 years. Information.
All right. What did you teach at Longfellow? Any subjects or
All of them.
grades?
Everything.
All subjects.
What grades did you teach?
3rd and 4th.
Alrighty. What was your favorite and why?
Like
Favorite subject?
Favorite subject or
I had a few. I loved math and science, and I really liked teaching language arts. That's when I did the plays. We did a poetry unit. On the year I didn't do A Midsummer Night's Dream. And this is the copy of what I actually had 10 of these, and I got them at Horn because Horn, when they first opened up, kind of bought in bulk various pieces of literature, and this was one of them. And I did this with a 4th grade class. We read it together, and it's really falling apart.
So this cost 50 cents. And I wonder what year this was printed.
I tried to get copies because I wanted to get another one because it was a series called Shake Hands with Shakespeare.
Uh-huh.
And Albert Cullum was the one that did this. I have a year on there. Oh, yes, 1971, first
Okay.
printing.
It's not gonna be that old looking one. It's only from 1971.
It's just the wear and tear that I went
The
through.
use, I
Yeah,
suppose.
that's right.
Yeah,
And I only have 2 of these left out
yeah,
of the 10.
yeah.
And so what I'd do is I'd make copies of the pages, and the kids would have their own copy then.
Okay.
Was Seymour always the mascot?
I think so.
Think so.
What was the neighborhood like?
Oh, Longfellow neighborhood is beautiful. It's an older neighborhood, historical neighborhood. So the houses are really big and set back, and a lot of foliage and a lot of trees, and it's just a beautiful neighborhood. It was, I would walk to school because I didn't live that far, and so it was always a pleasure to walk to the neighborhood.
Right. What do you remember most about Longfellow?
The families were tremendous. And doing Midsummer Night's Dream and Longfellow is unique in the fact that it celebrated National Tap Dance Day for 27 years. In fact, you probably have seen me tap dance through the years since you were in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And so that's a really unique experience. There's no school in the whole world that has
Yeah.
celebrated National Tap Dance Day for that long.
Do you have any celebrations or traditions you remember?
Well,
The play.
Midsummer Night's Dream, National Tap Dance Day. What was the other I was thinking?
Did they ever do a science fair?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they never really do that. They never have done
No, I did that when I was a kid, so I thought everybody.
Yeah,
did it,
right.
You know.
Right.
What about like certain field trips? Were there any field? There's another question.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's see. There's just one other thing. I'll think about it.
okay, that's fine. We can go back to.
Oh, I know. I did something, and Mrs. Reynolds also did it too, right? Chris Reynolds, called Word a Day. And at the end of the day, I put a word on the board, and I tried to get words that were higher level, but similar to words that they are familiar with. And then they had to come the next day and indicate somehow, either with a definition for the word or a model or a drawing that indicated they understood what the meaning was. And we would go around and they would say that. And then I'd have a picture and a little piece of construction paper with the word on it. And so I had actually 2 big bulletin boards filled with the pictures by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I did every other year, I had 2 sets of words. So the very first year I did it was the year they had the damage in the back, and my classroom was not available right away, and I had to be in another classroom.
Mhm.
So I gave them the word malleable
Oh.
so that they would be able to adjust to new things. So that I'm really proud of that.
And that was a big deal because my kids were not in Miss Leticia's class, but neighbor kids were, and I remember them talking about the word of the day. It was fun to them, I think.
All the parents loved it. They were looking forward to,
Yes.
what's the word today?
I know.
And also, let's see. I'll think of it again.
It was kind of like
There's
a
so
game,
much.
but it was a way to make learning fun, I think, and the
Yes.
kids responded to that.
Right. Oh, on Fridays, we wrote a letter home. I had the kids write a letter home to their parents, and they had to have two, third graders had to have two academic, either talk about science or whatnot. And I modeled it all in the beginning so that they could just copy what we came up with and show them how to do that. And then the fourth graders had 4 paragraphs that they had to do. And they could do 2 academic and 2 specials, like art, PE, music. And the parents love that. Some of them have kept those letters. They were just, they thought that was the greatest.
Yeah, because you don't always hear a lot from your kids about
Oh,
school.
and
They're
letter
from
writing
places
is
too.
such a lost art.
Mhm.
That it was just a very wonderful keepsake for them.
Sim?
What field trips did you go on?
We went to the Hoover Museum in West Branch, and we toured the museum, and then they also have an outdoor field with all sorts of, like a prairie.
Yeah.
And so there were all sorts of plants. And then we did, well, that was another thing. We did a lot of nice things. And Miss Contman, I think she might still do this. She and I were partners. We did Classroom City.
Oh,
We tried-
yeah. My brother Pete got to do that.
Mhm.
too.
Oh, so he must have been in Miss Contman's class?
Yep.
Yeah, yes. So I might know him by sight, even though I don't recognize the name. And so then we did everything. We had a mayor, we had a city council, we had businesses, all sorts of things. As you probably, no,
Do
you
you
weren't
remember
here.
what Pete's role was? Because they each had,
I think he was a mailman, my mom said.
Yes.
one of my sons was a mailman. He loved it.
Mhm. And so then we went downtown and toured businesses. We went to the post office, we went to New Pioneer, we went to the fire and police station, and went to city council, got to sit in. So it was an all-day nice trip. Both trips were very nice.
That was a really popular activity. I do remember the kids really enjoying that a lot. And I
Well,
don't
you
know
get
if they-
away.
Yeah, and even at the classroom activities they liked. So
Oh.
that was, that was a fun one, like unique.
All right.
Next question. 11.
Did you have any snow days or days when you got out early because it was too hot?
Both. Yeah. Because of not having air conditioning.
Yeah, finally
And-
we have it this year.
Yeah, it will. When you go back too, that will be nice. And this, of course, is probably air conditioned. Can I stop and ask you a question?
Yeah.
How do you like being here?
I like it. I really miss the old school because I went there since I've been there since kindergarten. So
Yeah.
I really felt like a second home. So
Mhm. You have to be bused, don't you?
yeah,
Or
we
do
have
your
to.
parents take you?
My parents take me, but I have to go to Key.
I have to be bused, and I do not like it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get back to being able to walk to school.
Yeah, that was way better.
I missed the walk to school. So,
Yeah, I did
but it's
that.
1 year. So,
Okay, next.
Alrighty. Do you have any stories that you remember?
Other than what I've told you?
Yeah.
No, that I can think of.
That's okay. We already got a lot of stuff recorded.
how many more questions do you have?
There's two more.
Two.
Okay.
Two more.
What types of games did kids play outside during recess?
Foursquare. What's the one with the ball hanging?
Oh, tetherball.
Thank you. Tetherball. Sometimes just tag.
Alrighty. Do you have any else you want to add?
Well, I have a CD that two things. I have a CD that I brought of the last year, 2011. I don't know if you could use it or anything. You might just want to look at it and of the tap dance assembly in 2011.
And
I
that's
think
the
that
last
you were
year.
in
Kindergarten.
kindergarten that year, so you're probably in the front row of us dancing. You
Yeah,
might
that'd
see
be cool
yourself.
to see it.
Yeah, so you're welcome to do that, and then you can just mail it back to me, or
Okay.
when I come for National Tap Dance Day, which I'll probably do here,
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
because you'll be
When-
here all the
when-
way to the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
When
That's what I
is National Tap Dance Day?
It's a celebration of tap.
No, when is it?
Oh, when is
Yeah.
it? It's May 25th. It's in honor of Bill Bojangles Robinson's birthday.
Okay.
So I have that.
And
Yeah, so the teacher that is coordinating this is Mrs. Lucas. She's a sixth grade teacher, so that's who will have the CD. And if you would want any of it returned before then, you can call her.
It's okay.
Okay.
I hadn't even looked at it since I
Yeah.
had it done. And this, a good friend of mine, Cecile Godding, got a grant for publishing a book.
Mhm.
And she really wasn't in a position to do it with her. She taught at the university, and she really didn't have a class where that was going to happen. So she gave it to me, and in spring of 1999, we put together, like I said, the opposite year of doing Midsummer Night's Dream, we did poem a week. I taught them a poem a week. And we wrote poetry, and then we put together this book and the 5 different kinds of poems. And we worked on it together. When you write a poem, it's like flying on a rainbow. Isn't that pretty? And so you can look at that.
So this is a collection of poems from her class in 1999. So
wow.
before you guys were born, Pete was probably born in 98
No, he was born in 2000.
or 2000. Okay. Or yeah, 2000. That's right. I went back. Oh, Dr. Ross is mentioned in here. He was a principal. And
I'm
Dr.
sure you're going to
Alphabet.
interview him.
Yeah, I think he's been interviewed already, actually.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, that's great.
I wasn't involved in this one. So are these the yes, the students, and they have their signatures with their
Yes,
poems.
right. Let's see, Dylan Amelia Hurst. Daniel.
So those kids would be,
See, Danny Maurice was in that class, Dr. Alphabet's son.
okay.
And so,
Are there any of the students who wrote poems in that, would they be around here or?
that's a good question. Let me look.
It would be interesting to try and find someone who wrote a poem in there and see if we could.
Caitlin Cross might be in town.
Okay. So if we were,
James Black. Gosh, James Stone isn't. Jackie Robinson, I don't know.
I have a question for you more about the neighborhood. Do you remember what was at Deluxe Bakery when you started
Mm-hmm.
teaching there? And what was it there? Because there was a different business or something at Deluxe.
I don't remember. What was there before Deluxe?
I think it was, from what I remember, I think it was like an artist studio or something.
Oh, I think you might be right.
Okay, so it wasn't really,
No, it was kind of a place to gather.
do you kids have any other questions for her? I'm trying to think of some of the questions that we asked former students. We asked them how they got to school, what they had for lunch, what they wore to school.
Oh, I have a question. What were like punishments?
I had a checkout system, little pockets on a bulletin board that had each kid's name on it. And, when they were working on their own, get up and go to the restroom or go get some drink of water. And there was a stick, a coded stick that went into their pocket. So I would know where they were at or if they were in the library. And so they had quite a bit of freedom on their own. So their punishment, their work done or they misbehaved or whatever, they got a stick called restricted. And like in many classrooms, you had to raise your hand to get out of this, to do whatever you wanted. So you just lost your freedom.
I see. Questions?
Do you, whenever, at any time in your teaching career, was there a time when students would be spanked for their behavior?
I did start off in a Catholic school in Chicago. I was born and raised in Chicago, backside